Well, I'm joined here on set by civil rights attorney Joe Richardson. Joe, it's good to see you.
And now joining us is Joe Richardson.
Joe Richardson.
This is Joseph Richardson. His firm is representing Paige Griffin. Good morning to you, Joseph.
Pertains to this case, there have been a lot of bumps in the road because of the defendant representing himself. It's very much an inexact science. The practice of law is not called the science of law because it's not exact even when people that are experienced are doing it. When you ask why, it almost assumes that there's a good answer that's logical, and then you say, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, it will never make sense. I compare a default to the way that I explain default to clients is that when it's like having a dance and one person shows up, and if the other person doesn't show up, you're actually dancing by yourself. And because he was defaulted and did not participate in the litigation the way he needed to, you can be in the litigation, not do the things that you're supposed to, and the ultimate sanction is basically taking away your dance card so that the other person is there alone. And now it's just a matter of how much. Not that he's not liable, and he was never criminally guilty. He was civilly liable, which is a difference. It's make it seem as ridiculous as possible that he doesn't remember any of these details. All he remembers is that he doesn't remember. And so because of him, it's the good news and the bad news of him being put on the stand. If the jury believes him, it helps his plight somehow. It doesn't make him totally not guilty, probably, but it helps his plight somehow in lowering the level of liability. If they don't believe him, then he's cooked. And you can do that because he's on the stand. This defense attorney was hoping for the old Georgia. They pressed those buttons. They got rid of most of the black people that were in the panel. And they were hoping that would end up being the difference in this case. But as it turned out, it wasn't. They tried to make him into a villain, Mr. Arbery into a villain, which he was not. They tried to make him into a criminal, which he was not. The criminals were the ones that were being tried and they were convicted. And fortunately for all of us, the jury saw a difference between themselves and those that were being prosecuted. And that's why they were convicted. And I hope that this defense attorney remembers this moment and is not allowed to forget it for the rest of their lives, because some of us cannot make those mistakes and survive them. It is absolutely inexcusable. It's morally wrong. And thank God the jury came out that it was legally wrong. There is a very real fear of black men as it pertains to policing. I am not talking about her intentions. I don't believe she's Derek Chauvin. I don't believe she's Kyle Rittenhouse. I think she was very sincere. But that is a real thing, and that is something that can make you forget your training. Does it make it into the box and the well of trying the case? Because the law is the law? No, not necessarily. But it is kind of amazing that she would forget as much as she did, and particularly make a mistake that no training officer would make, and that for that matter, she never made in her life before. I think it's good in that they want to show Johnny Depp to be, vulnerable, regular, normal, hopefully believable and likable, right? They also have him, taking the knife, as it were, admitting some of the issues on direct so that they don't come out on cross, so that if they like him and he's credible, then they can look past those things and hopefully believe him at the matter at hand. So far, so good. I wonder if there'll be some kind of appeal based on them not coming out a certain way on the underlying, because it was a little confusing. We were talking about that. But it's a difficult case, and it reminds us of the larger societal background. Perhaps under some circumstances, this case would not have been brought at all. If the prosecutors know to do this, but being an R&B music guy, they could go to the words of his songs and the words of the records that he's produced. Aaliyah's album was called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Bump and Grind says, show me some ID before I get knee deep. He's got another song on his second album called It Seems Like You're Ready to Go All the Way. So there's a lot of things that they can add in there, but the defense has got to find a way to play this gray area that frankly he's been able to use to elude capture, as it were, for about 25 years now. So the question is going to be, can they play that gray area like they've been able to play? He's been able to elude for quite some time.